Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Jason Cappuccino of Sashes&Scripts, and today we will be talking about the 2022 Miss Universe Philippines candidates. They recently have announced their 50 official candidates, and we will be talking about this batch collectively. But before we begin, please hit the subscribe button on my channel and hit the notifications bell as well so that updated kayo sa mga pageant ganaps and updates. It was recently announced that there will be 50 candidates who will be vying for the Miss Universe Philippines title this year. And from the top 50, it will be narrowed down to a top 30 after they have done, interactive challenges on the Kumu app, which they partnered with in this year's edition. Now, this year's format is a far cry from the top 100, top 75, then top 50, and top 30 of last year's edition. And this year, it's going to be just a top 50 before it will be narrowed down to a top 30. There are rumors that hindi karamihan yung mga nag-apply this year. There are also rumors that Kagandahang Flores is not actively fielding, candidates this year, kaya nabawasan yung mga nag-apply. However, I was able to confirm with Tito Rogel Flores of Kagandahang Flores, and they say that they are training several girls who will be joining the Miss Universe Philippines pageant several weeks ago. So it means that may mga nag-apply din from the KF group in the NUP pageant this year. However, looking at the roster of candidates that was announced earlier, a lot of the aces and queens girls who were fielded into the competition, lahat sila pasok sa top 50 candidates. And collectively, the candidates this year is parang hindi ganun ka strong as compared to the 2020 na batch or even the 2021 na batch last year. And I think that comparatively mas weak yung overall na batch this year compared to the very feisty, very social media savvy, very popular na girls who joined last year. I remember that even among the top 50 of the candidates last year, marami na sa kanila yung nagpapakita ng potential who can be international caliber candidates for any national pageant. And I think that this year mapipili mo lang sa isang banda kung ilan yung sa tingin mo pwedeng isabak internationally. However, thankfully, we have several crossovers and returnees who joined this year that gives, the Miss Universe Philippines pageant a little bit of, oomph, a little bit of push in terms of, overall prestige. Kasi yung mga patimpalak is mga patimpalak ng pagandahan. It is mainly the candidates that brings excitement into the mix. And I think that this year, with the presence of Saubier, Pauline Amelinckx, Katrina Llegado, Celeste Cortesi, and of course Michelle D. Sila yung nagbibigay ng excitement doon sa overall na batch this year. Now, when it comes to yung mga candidates, I think that it is fair to say that it is too early in the competition to expect anything from the girls that who are named in the top 50. So malamang siguro kinakailangan nating maghintay pa ng konting panahon in order for us to really gauge whether or not this year's batch is a weak batch or medyo silent lang sila sa umpisa. And I think that yung excitement ng pageant might come maybe later on pa in the pageant when siguro named na yung top 30 or makita na natin kung sino talaga yung mga frontrunners. There are several girls who I think that that shows promise. Chantal of Cebu is one of them. I think that she being very tall, very statuesque, with a very good background, is one of the girls that kinakailangan natin bantayan because she's showing promise. I think also her modeling background and her very modelesque na body is something that we need to watch out for or to look out for. We all know that Cebu has been, very aggressive when it comes to national pageants this year, and I think that maasahan natin ang Cebu when it comes to fielding, high quality and high caliber na mga girls at the national stage. Now, with regards naman to the more, popular na girls, I think that Michelle D leads the pack in terms of packaging, in terms of machinery, in terms of popularity. At hindi yung mawawala doon sa listahan ng mga top girls because she's the one who has the highest achievement in terms of pageantry among the girls joining this year. This year kasi marami ang crossovers, but at the same time, iilan lang sa kanila yung makikitaan mo talaga ng fighting na chance internationally. I think, Michelle D leads the pack simply because of her Miss World experience, having landed at the top 12 in her year. And I think that her being trained by aces and queens before nawala yung mga pillars ng aces and queens at itinatag ang Miss Universe Philippines na pageant. Michelle has that advantage being trained by the heads of the camp. And now, if it is true that she is rumored to be, to have shifted camps to the Crown Initiative, then she also has a gold mine of support in terms of former Binibining Pilipinas winners like Tati Betita and Desiree Verdadero at her back, doing all the best that they can to support her in the national pageant this year. Now let's talk about Celeste Cortesi, because she's one of the girls na ang mga fans a little bit of in the middle or in the fence regarding her chances of winning, simply because what they are judging her on is based on her Miss Earth and Miss Philippines Earth experience, wherein she had struggled with speaking in English because she is more fluent in Italian. And I think that was a disservice to her ability to learn the language and her ability to evolve. And I think that she is more polished when it comes to communication skills nowadays. I think that Celeste has, potential to be among the top 5 or top 3 of this year's competition if she plays her cards right. She is being fielded by the new pageant camp called The Camp, and I think having had the experience of fielding Bella Ismael 2 years back on the inaugural edition of the pageant, and earning the first runner-up position, I think that they are pretty much comfortable with supporting Celeste in the competition. Now, a lot of you are thinking, may bearing ba yung paglipat ni Celeste ng camp? Of course, she used to be in Kagandahang Flores and now she's with the camp. And I think that it was for her, I believe, a strategic and tactical move in order for her to be able to advance further into the competition. I think Celeste is one of the most, if not one of the more commercial in terms of face. She's one of the girls who are not just a package of physical, pretty face and body, but she's also one of those girls who can take no bad photographs, and she would be very deserving of the Miss Photogenic title if they will be giving that award this year. On the other hand, we also have Katrina Llegado, who is Reina Hispanoamericana Filipinas several years back. She hails from Taguig. Upon seeing her up close and in person, she is one of those girls who has a very distinct Filipina features. Very Pinay yung kanyang beauty. And she is one of those girls na ang ganda ng forma ng katawan, ang ganda ng figure ng katawan. She has a very proportioned body, and she knows how to, strut it on stage. And I think that is a very big, advantage of the competition, because if you are competing with a lot of newbies in this year's batch, then you definitely have more confidence on stage, simply because you already had the experience at the international level. And her being a runner-up at RHA during her year, it also shows yung finesse when it comes to her presentation and performance. And I think hindi mo pwedeng matawaran yung aspeto na yon, especially in a pageant where you are being judged on your performance, on your overall performance. The only thing that I would want is that for her to be more meaty when it comes to her answers to the Q&A, to be more, to dig deep when it comes to social issues, so that she's able to grasp questions and deliver, very succinct answers. Among the girls who are coming back into the competition, I think that Pauline Amelinckx has, one of the best chances in the competition, simply because she already had a runner-up finish way back in 2020, and I think that experience would definitely help her in the competition. However, looking at her recent stills on social media and on what is posted on the Miss Universe Philippines social media pages, parang nawalan siya ng glow. I think there is that aspect na she probably wasn't as prepared as she was back in 2020, and I think that she needs to find that footing for herself. She is one of those girls who has a very beautiful face, one of the best faces in her batch, and I think also in this batch, I can safely say na isa siya sa may mga pinaka-commercial na beauty. However, I think that she needs to find something that would bring back the glow that we saw in her first participation in Miss Universe Philippines, dahil I think yun yung nawawala sa kanya ngayon. In terms naman of other girls in the competition, like the crossover beauty, Julia Saubier, I think that she is one of the girls who has the meatiest resume among the pageant girls joining in the competition this year. I think that her experience in Binibining Pilipinas 2019 helped her to mold her, I believe, to give her more confidence. And I think yung weakness niya in 2019 was her pasarela, which is very, very disastrous, I believe is the right word. Needed a lot of finessing, needed a lot of training on that aspect. I think that this time around, na-polish na yon, nakitaan ko na siya ng ibang mga clips wherein mas pulido na yung kanyang presentation skills, and I think that is a very important aspect na pinagtuunan niya ng pansin, because when it comes to speaking ability, she is, I believe, one of the girls na kahit ngayon mo isabak internationally at any interview, she would kill and slay that aspect of the competition. Ang kinakailangan lang talaga ngayon is that to find a very good packaging for her so that her styling showcases the best of her features. She has a very Filipina face, and I think that not a lot of Filipino pageant fans find that an advantage for her. So she needs to find the right makeup, the right hairstyle, the right strokes when it comes to putting on or dolling herself up for the national stage. In terms of the katawan, in terms of the body proportions, I think she's one of the tallest girls at around 5'10 or 5'11. I think she has the advantage of height, and I think that is one of the most important aspects na tinitignan ng org, ng local org when it comes to selecting queens. I think lahat tayo dito sa Pilipinas, we are very much invested when it comes to women with very tall figures. And that's why we are very enamored with the likes of Melanie Marquez and Cara Subihano, because they are a rarity in pageants that we are sending girls who are 5'10", 5'11" in height. And I think Julia has has the ability to be packaged well, if only that she or her team is able to find the perfect balance of styling, I believe. With regards naman to repeater Dominic Piczon, I think that she needs to bring out something new in this aspect of the competition, dahil we have already seen what she can deliver in the past. So she needs to reinvent, or she needs to repackage herself in order for her to be more memorable in the competition. I think that with the onset of new names coming into the competition, kinakailangan meron siyang bago na maipakita for pageant fans to be excited with her participation this year. Overall, I think that there are several girls that have potential, but kinakailangan muna natin silang bantayan bago natin ma-assess in full kung ano yung kakayahan nila and ano yung pwede nilang ibigay at dalhin sa competition. I think that it is too early to tell who is going to win, but I think that even as early as now, the frontrunners are already positioning themselves in the competition as the girls to beat. And I think right now, kung akong papipiliin, it might be a toss between Julia Saubier, Chantal, Michelle, and of course Pauline for the title. And I think magkakatalo-talo na lang yan later on performance. So abangan na lang natin kung anong mangyayari, and I hope that yung very lackluster na umpisa ng pageant this year, magkaroon ng excitement towards the latter part of the competition. So that's it from me for today's topic. I hope na enjoy niyo ang video na ito. Give it a like, hit the subscribe button, and share it to your friends, and let's grow this community together. See you again soon, and stay tuned for our next episode. Bye everyone!